everyone, it's tutorialsbya here, and today I'll be showing you how to create this fish tied bracelet. And this is basically a fishtail version of my tidal wave bracelet. I highly suggest you go make the tidal wave bracelet first before making this. This bracelet is so much harder in comparison, and I personally like the tidal wave bracelet better than this one. However, you guys requested this tutorial, so here it is. So anyways, if you are a beginner or even an intermediate to advanced loomer, I highly suggest not making this bracelet because it is just so difficult. The ending is extremely difficult as well. If you are an expert at looming, have been doing it for a long time, know how to catch bands and fully understand how looming works and things like that, then you will probably be able to make this bracelet. The ending is very difficult, so I'm just warning you guys in advance because I even had trouble making my own bracelet that I designed myself. So if you don't want to risk the blood, sweat, and tears, then you might want to go check out the tidal wave bracelet because it looks almost exactly like this. It's just got a single chain here instead. It wears a little bit more comfortably, and yeah, overall I just personally like the tidal wave bracelet better. But again, you guys requested this, so here is the tutorial. If you want to check out the tidal wave bracelet, it is linked in the description box, or you can find it on my channel as well. So anyways, before we get started, give this video a big thumbs up for good luck if you are going to continue on with making this bracelet. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first off, we're just going to start off by switching our middle pin bar. So I am just going to take my loom and pop out the center pin bar just by pushing up in these little slits here. Pick this up, and you want to turn it around so that way the pins are facing a different direction on the center pin bar than the other two. So on this side it looks like kind of an N shape, and this side it looks like a U shape. So just make sure that it looks like this. And then we're going to place it back, but we're going to place it back in the square configuration, meaning that all of the pins are going to be lined up horizontally here evenly so that way they're not staggered. And then just secure your pin bar into place, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I'm starting off with my pins in this pattern. It's an N, a U, and then an N. So just make sure that they're like this and not the other way around. I'm going to start off with whatever color I want to be my fishtail border for this bracelet. So I'm going to start off by using one band at a time for this. You're going to go vertically, and you're going to pull this across 3 pins here. Just like that. Next up, you're going to do the same thing, except you're going to go on the next 3 pins. You're going to shift 1 below, as you can see here. You're going to take your next one and go 1 below that. Then you're going to take your next band and go 1 below this one here, like that. And I had to use clear jelly because I wanted to show you guys what it looked like in the middle of the process. So right now it might be a little bit hard to see, but it has benefits to it of using clear jelly. So anyways, I'm going to go here on the next one that's empty, and always stretch it across 3 pins, and you're just going to keep moving down 1 pin for each band. So vertically, and then go down to this next one because this is the last pin with the band on it, so you're going to move down 1. And then move down 1 again here, down 1 here, down 1 there, and down here. So as you can see, I am now at the bottom of my loom. I have continued this pattern of putting on bands across 3 pins and slowly moving down all the way across my loom so far. Now we are going to take our next band. And by the way, this is a little thing of henna I accidentally got on my finger, and it stained my hand now. So you're going to take your next band. We're going to go to this pin here on the right, and then you're going to put your band here, and we are going to stretch it across the pin on to the left, and then onto the pin above it. So as you can see, we've got a triangle here. My shadow kind of helps you see the band a little bit better, but see, we've got a triangle here now. So you should have a band going across these 3. So now we are going to take our next band, and this one is going to start on the left here, you're going to go to the right and up. So we've got a triangle going in the opposite direction now. So you should have it on this, this, and this pin, and then you can let go of that one. So now we are going to start more of a similar process to what we just did. We're going to put our next band starting here and go up 3 pins. So 1, 2, 3, and then release. Start on the next one here. Put your band right here. Go 1, 2, 3. Put that one up there. And then we're going to continue that same thing all the way up. So this pin, 1, 2, 3. And whatever band, whatever pin the band is holding onto, you're going to find the last pin with the band attached to it and go back 1 pin, and that's where you're going to start putting your next band on. So the last one is right here, so you're going to move back 1, and that's how you know where your band's going to go. So here, move back 1, and then continue that process all the way up. Okay, so I'm now at the top of my loom, and when you get to this point, we're going to turn the corner and come around again. So I'm going to take my next band, and this is the last pin with the band on it, so we're going to move back 1, put it across these 2 at the top here. Except for a 3rd pin, we're going to use this pin right here. So you should have your band on this pin here and this pin. You're going to put it over onto this pin on the right here. So all in all, you should have these 3 pins with your band on it. So these 3 pins. Now we're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to go to this top pin here, put your band onto this pin, and then put the band onto this one on the right here, as well as this one that's below it. So now the next band that we have just put on is on this pin, and this pin. So you've got 3 pins total here. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing that we did on the first pin bar. You're going to go to this next pin that has no band on it, pull up, and go to the next pin that has no band on it, pull that upwards, next pin without a band, and then so on. Next pin without a band, next pin without a band, and keep on going till you get right here. Okie dokie, so now this is what you should have on your loom, and basically this is what my entire loom looks like right now. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of our loom for the next process, and you just want to go through and push all your bands down and make sure that those are near the bottom. By the way, I apologize about my nail polish. I am currently way too busy to repaint my nails, so they look a little bit gross right now. I apologize. So we're going to go ahead and put on the swirly bands that go in the center. Warning, the lighting might go a little bit nuts because I am using pink bands with this, so my camera really does not like the color pink. So let's get started. For this, we're always going to use we're always going to use 2 bands at a time. So if you don't know how many bands I'm using, it's 2. So you're going to start out with 2 bands. You're going to stretch it from this top pin here down to the next set of pins here. So you've got, hold on, let me position my fingers. You've got this band attached to these 2 pins right now. Then you're going to stretch it downwards and twist it and place it onto the next 2. That's a little bit hard to explain, but as you can see, basically it's stretched across 4 pins, and then in the center of right here it's twisted. So it doesn't matter what direction you twist it, it doesn't matter if you keep switching directions or anything, but just make sure it's twisted in the center right here. So these 2 here, it's straight, twisted, and then these 2. So now we're going to take our next color, and you're going to take 2 of this color again. Since we started our last one on this top pin here, we're going to start it on this pin now. You're always going to move down 1. So I'm going to start on this pin, going to go down so that way it's right here. Then I'm going to reposition my fingers on the band, twist it after I put it on 2, and then place it on this next pin and this next pin right here. So it's on 4 pins total, twisted in the center right here. Now I'm going to take my next 2 bands, and I'm going to, we started the pink one at the top right here, so you're going to scoot down 1. You're going to go on this top pin here, and then move down 1. So it's on 2 pins now. Twist it, and then you're going to put it on the next 1 pin and then 2 pins. So it's on a total of 4. And this is a little bit difficult to do if you are using lower quality bands, so that's why I said in the beginning that higher quality bands will work better for this. So we started our blue twisty, our last band that we twisted on right here, so we're going to start on this pin right here. So take your 2 bands, stretch it across 2 pins here, because we started our blue one here, so we're going to start our pink one on this next pin right here. Started blue here, pink here. Twist it, and then put it on the next 2, like that. Another way to remember which pin to start on is you find, if you want to go backwards, you find the very last pin that has a twisted band attached to it. You go 1 pin down, put your band here, up on these 2 right here, twist it, and then put it up on the next 2. And that's another way you can keep track of what pins your bands are supposed to be attached to. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this process down my loom, and I'm actually going to use the other technique, but a lot of people find it easier to go from the top down. So last band is attached to this pin, going to move down 1, go up 1, twist it, and put it on this next one, and then the one after that. Like that. 2 bands here. Put this one down here. Go up 1, twist it, go up 1, and another. So the last bands are on here, so I'm going to go down a pin, go up 2 here, twist it, and go up the next 2 for a total of 4 pins. And then I'm going to keep doing that until we get to the bottom of the pin bar. So I've got 1 more here. Just like that. Okie dokie. So this is what I have now. I have my last band attached to this very last pin here, and we are now going to turn the corner. So you're going to take 2 of your next color bands. Mine are going to be 2 blue. I'm going to place it onto this pin that's here in the center and move it over to the left one. So that way I've attached it to 2 pins now. So I'm going to go ahead and twist it like that. I've twisted it. And sorry, it's a little bit hard to see. I've twisted it now. I'm going to put it on the next one that's up here and the next one that's up here. So it's still attached to 2, twisted here, and then attached to these 2. They're just horizontal now. So now we are going to go ahead and add the next 2 on. And this one's going to be a little bit different. You're going to put this on these 2 pins right here, these 2. Then you are going to twist it and put it on the next 2 that are right next to it. So that way we've kind of got an X here, just like that. Now we're going to take 2 of our next color, put it on these 2 pins here horizontally, twist your bands, and put it onto the next 2 that are going vertically but on the right pin bar. So just like that. So it's 2 on here, twisted, and then these next two right here. So now it is back to normal. You're going to, we can turn our loom around now. It'll make things a little bit easier. And now we can add on our pink ones. So I'm going to start on the next pin that does not have a blue, my twisty band attached to it. So skip this one, go to this one here that's right after, go up 2, twist, and put up 1, 2 after that. So that way I've got 2 here twisted in the center and then 2 more that are attached to the band. And then you're going to go ahead and continue this process till you're down to the bottom of your pin bar. I'll show you one more time and then I'm going to fast forward it so that way this video isn't forever long. So start on the next pin that doesn't have bands attached, go up 2, twist, and go up 2 again. Just like that. And since my band got messed up, I'm going to try that again. So up 2, twist, and up 1 and 2. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and for the next, I'm going to fast forward until I reach the bottom of this pin bar. Basically, it's the exact same process. Okay, so I've now reached the bottom of this pin bar and I'm ready to turn the corner once again. So let's go ahead and start. If you're not to this point yet, then feel free to pause the video, but we're going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to take 2 of my next color, start on this left pin here and go over to the right one. Then I'm going to twist my band. Okay, there we go. I'm going to twist my band and put it onto this next one that is above here. And then put it on the next one after that. So I've got it on these 2 pins, then it's twisted, and then I put it around these 2 pins. So now we're going to add on our next 2. For this, we're going to start on this pin here. You're going to put it on these 2 on the left, twist, and then put it on the 2 that are on the right. So it's attached to these 4 pins right here. Now we're going to go ahead, grab our next 2 bands. We're going to start on this pin right here. Start there, move down 1, so that you've got something like this. Then you're going to twist the band and put it across the next 2 here on the bottom, like this. So you can see I've got it 2 here, twisted, and then these 2 right here are, it's attached to these 2 here. So these 2 twisted and then these 2. So now at this point we're going to go ahead and turn our loom around and do this vertical pin bar right here. I'll show you the first 3. So you're going to just start on the next one at the bottom that does not have a pin on, a band on it. Up 2, twist, doesn't matter what direction, then up the next 2. Twist again, and up the next 2. Just like that. So you should get something like this now, and my lighting is getting a little bit weird, I apologize. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and continue the same process all the way down to the bottom of this pin bar, and I will fast forward it and be right back. Okay, so the last band I put on is just the one that was attached to right here. So as you can see, this is kind of what the side of my loom looks like. And so I just put it on these 4, and these 3 don't have any ones overlapping over that. That's totally fine. So anyways, we are now finished with putting on bands. Finally, we've just got one more to put on. It is this one right here. So you're going to go ahead, take that and put it on the pin, twist it, and put that back on. So you should get something like this now. So now what we're going to do is finally start the hooking process. We're first going to start off by only hooking the clear jelly bands that we put on first. So you're not going to end up hooking any of the bands that we put on that were twisted, such as my pink and blue ones here. So anytime we go do the hooking process, you're going to go inside of any bands that are not the bottom one that you're intending to grab. So you're going to go inside the top layers here, which for me are my pink twisted layer as well as my cap band. You're going to grab that very bottom band here, grab that, and you're going to hook that around this first pin here, but you're going to hold on to that and hook it around the second pin as well. So as you can see, we're going to do that again around the first pin, hold on to it, and then put it around the second pin. So we let go of the band on this pin right here, so we're going to scoot back one, and we're going to go inside of this, grab this next band, and we're going to put around this pin right here, the first pin, as well as the second pin. So if you let go, the last band we put on was on this pin, so you're going to scoot back one, and then go inside of that one again, grab the very bottom band, put it around the first pin as well as the second pin. We had our hook here last, so you're going to scoot back one, go inside, grab the very bottom band, pull that off, put your band around this one, and then the next one as well. And then we ended on this pin right here, so you're going to scoot back one and then go inside again. And basically this is the entire process for a straight pin bar. Around 1, 2, scoot back one, 1, 2, we're here, you're going to scoot back one, 1, 2, scoot back one, 1, 2, ended here, scoot back one, 1, 2, we put it on here, scoot back one, 1, 2, ended here, scoot back one, 1, 2, ended here, scoot back one, and now is the part when it's going to get tricky. So after you've hooked your last band and it goes up to this top pin right here, you're going to let go of that, and the next band we're going to hook is right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside of this pin, grab the very bottom band, pull that off, and this band we're going to put diagonally here, diagonal to this pin, and then you're going to pull that around to this pin that's here on the right as well. So it's holding on to these two pins right here, and sorry, my nail looks really gross. So you're going to take this again, put it diagonally here, as well as to the pin on the right. So after that, we are now going to go ahead and go inside this pin, grab the very bottom band, and this is a little bit difficult. So see, this clear band right here is the one I'm trying to grab, but you need to make sure that you're going inside this pink one that's over here as well. So make sure you pull this one back and not just go straight in right here. You gotta go inside of this pink one right here. Then grab the clear band, pull it off, and then it's gonna feel a little bit funny because it's not gonna like kind of pull into each other. I don't know how to explain it. You don't need to tug too hard. You just, as long as you've got the band, you're just gonna put it directly to the left and then down one. So that band was attached to these two. So now it is time to turn our loom around, and then we are going to go ahead and continue the hooking process as normal. So you're just going to go inside this pin, go inside all the bands, grab the very bottom one only, pull that, and it's not going to pull very easily, so don't force it if you're not using good quality bands. You're going to go around 1, 2, you ended here, scoot back one, go inside this pin, around 1, 2, go back one, and it's the same exact process from the first pin bar. So 1, 2, scoot back one, 1, 2, scoot back one, 1, 2, scoot back 1, 1, 2, scoot back 1, and it's the same exact thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue this process all the way down. Scoot back 1, 1, 2, scoot back 1, and this is the last one here. 1, 2, scoot back 1. So after you put on your last band that goes vertically right here and it ends on this top pin, you're going to let that go, and we're going to go ahead and turn the corner again. So if you're not to this point yet, then feel free to pause the video, but we're going to go ahead and start the hooking process for the corner. So you're going to go inside this pin that is second from the top, go inside, grab the very bottom band, you're going to pull that off, and this one's going to go vertically and then to the right. So it's attached to this pin right here as well as this pin right here. So these two pins are what it's attached to. So now we're going to go ahead and hook the tricky one up here. If you don't hook this correctly, your bracelet will fall apart or look weird. So make sure you're pulling back this band here. Make sure you're not going into this hole right here. You want to see that these two bands are pushed back behind your hook, and then grab the clear band here, pull that off of the pin, and it's not going to pull off that easily, so it's okay. You're going to put it straight to the right as well as down 1. So I'll do that again, straight to the right and down 1. So after that, it is now time to turn our loom one last time, and we're going to start hooking from this bottom left pin here. And I am not going to go slow during this part since you should have the gist of it. Grab the bottom band, hook that up 1, 2 pins, scoot back 1, bottom band, hook it up 1, 2 pins, scoot back 1, 1, 2, scoot back 1, 1, 2, scoot back 1, and then continue all the way up your loom. So I kind of stopped right here just because with the fishtail bracelet, the wrist length kind of varies with this. So it doesn't matter how far you are at this point, but the earlier you stop on this left pin bar, the better. However, I kind of know how my wrist size is already, so I know around where to stop. But we're going to go ahead and remove the bands on this pin bar here and this pin bar here. So the right and center pin bars. So you're just going to use your hook and pull this off, and it might look a little bit funny at first. It's totally normal, but you just want to pull this off on the very right pin bar and then the very center pin bar, and then don't go any further than that because we've only hooked to the center of the right pin bar, and you don't want to pull it off too early and happen to ruin your bracelet. So only pull it off as far as you've hooked, or less than as far as you hooked. So okay, so after you've pulled off what you have so far, you want to see how long this is compared to your wrist size. So where I stopped seemed like a pretty good stopping point. I'm gonna go back to my loom here, and we're gonna find the last place that you did the hooking process on. So for me, I stopped on this pin right here. As you can see, this is where my last band is placed. So this is where my last band is placed, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back 1 pin and stick your hook inside of here. So you're going to go back 1 pin and stick your hook inside of here. As you can see, we've got this little triangle here. That's where you're going to stick your hook in. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put this up on your hook and then pull the rest of the stuff off. You can use your fingers for this, or I'm going to use another hook basically. And you just want to pull off the bands that are here. And then once you can remove this from your loom, then go ahead and do so. So I'm just going to remove everything off of my loom here. And as you can see, this is what is attached to my hook now. Now what we're going to do is, as you can see, this is a good length for my wrist. So whatever bands that you can pull out that look loose, like they're going to fall out, go ahead and pull those out. And then if you're annoyed like me by any really loose bands, then you can cut those as well. Like here, if it's an entire loop like this, my camera will focus. If it's an entire loop like this one here, then you can cut those off safely. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. I know some people are protective of their bands and don't want to cut them, but that just bugs me, so I did so like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab my one single band right here. One single band of your border color. Pull it through all of these here and attach it onto your hook, just like this. Then you're going to go ahead and grab a C-clip and attach it to all these bands right here that are on your hook. Then attach it to the opposite end where your, what's it called, cap band is, like that. And then we are now finished. Now if you happen to take it off and your bracelet is too small, you can always add an extension here on the end just by making another chain link here. Maybe you wanted to add one more here, then you just grab another band and just continue making a single chain link right here, just like that, and then attach the end on back here. So it's better to take your bracelet off earlier than later. So anyways, that is how you make this very, very difficult bracelet. And yeah. So anyways, that is how you create this fish tied bracelet. I really hope that you guys were able to make this bracelet. However, I know that it is extremely difficult. If you had trouble making this and you were just so close to making this, but you ended up messing up somehow, or maybe you didn't get the ending correctly, because the ending is so hard, guys, then be sure to check out my tidal wave bracelet. That one is very a lot easier compared to this one. So anyways, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and find me on all my social media sites that are in the description box down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!